evilslothman here, back from another vid, and yes, I can still remember how to do that. Yes, evilslothman returning to YouTube. It's been a month. Hello. Yeah, it's been a little while. I've had issues with my PC. Let's just put it that way. The motherboard died. That's probably what it was. And basically everything fucked. So I had to get my motherboard replaced, and then they couldn't find one that would recognise my processor because it's an AM2. And so they put it into. I had to switch an AM3 processor in there, and then they switched to RAM. So actually, it works a little bit better than it used to, and it recognises all my RAM now. I used to stop at 2.5, it now recognises 4. But it's actually going to be a lot easier now to upgrade. But I have no money at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, apart from that, and then you had the thing with YouTube over the other weeks. First spamming me with weird and wonderful channels in my subscription box, and then not showing me any of videos for days. Now I think I'm getting drips and drabs. I don't know if I'm getting all, but I'm definitely getting some. I just don't really want to go look through everybody's channels just to find out that they've had a few different videos and everything. It's going to be quite annoying. Alas. We'll see. Probably YouTube have done something stupid, or about to do something stupid with subscriptions again. Well. Oh well. Oh yeah, as you can note, the haircut. It's I really noticed this when I was looking through the last video. I was just checking there to see if I'd done some other pickups and see if I'd put this through before, and noticed how bad my hair was in the last video. It just looked fucking awful. Not that everybody's going to notice, but that's it. To me, it just looked flipping terrible. Right. I'm going to do a lot of pickups today. These were picked up a few weeks ago. The last few weeks I've not really had much money, and I've been saving up for other things like holidays and everything. So I don't know how much games I'm going to be buying from now, because I really need to save up spending money. We shall see. I don't know. Maybe the game link when we go down for Mission is Possible. Possibly. Yeah, we might get some games there. We'll see what's there. And speaking of that, I really need to get some more practice in there, because I haven't done it. So they've been asking like 4 weeks, 4 months, not even weeks. It's 4 months you've had to actually practice on these games. And yes, my challenge was particularly easy, and I did do it in 10 minutes. But I kind of wanted to do a little bit better at the game than just pass it, and so we'll see. Definitely need to get the practice in the next few weeks. I've got like a month, just under a month, and so hopefully I can get some practice in and get fairly decent at it, so I don't entirely embarrass myself when I actually go to the game link in Spalding next month. Right, the first pickup is on the Dreamcast, and it is Sonic Adventure. Everyone should have Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. It is just that good. And there we go. And it has its spine card and everything. Don't know how much I'm going to keep on about the spine cards, because I think it makes the Saturn games look a lot better. But because you've got these kind of complete glass cases, they don't look too bad without them. So we'll see. If I can find them at a decent price, but I'm not going to pay over an extortionate money just to have the spine card. But yeah, I bought this really and honestly to test the Dreamcast, because I was having issues with Soul Calibur, and it wasn't reading the disc right. It was just coming down with lines when it was reading the disc, and I was wondering if it was the Dreamcast fault or the discs, because it started messing with the Virtual Fighter disc afterwards. But I switched it off, I booted it back up, and I got the Virtual Fighter back working. I took the Soul Calibur disc into my local Asda and run it through their disc cleaner, because they've got these second-hand games now, so they can actually stick it through the disc cleaner. Cleaned up the disc real fine, put it in, got it to boot, and then it crashed when it tried to load the story mode. Pain in the arse. And now it does the same thing again. It keeps on coming up the lines and lines and lines. So yeah, I'll have to get another copy of that. But I will get it, because it's Soul Calibur, and Soul Calibur is awesome in the Dreamcast. But there's lots more games out there to get for the Dreamcast, and this is just the start of it. Sonic Adventure, I didn't actually ever have a proper copy of this. I got lent a copy of the GameCube version, the DX director's cut. And I could play it through with Sonic, and that was about it. But I didn't play it through with any of the other characters. So it'll be interesting to actually go through and properly play this. It works great. This is how I had to go and test off the disc for Soul Calibur, because it works fine. So yeah, pretty awesome, really. Quite chuffed with that. The next one is something that a few American fans of the Wii are going to be annoyed at, but I picked up Xenoblade Chronicles, and this is the special edition. Now, as you can see on the front there, it comes up with a different Wii Classic controller that has not been out before. It is a red Classic controller, and that's it there. It looks a little bit orange in the screen at the moment, to be fair, but it's bright Mario red, and it works like any other of the Classic Controller Pros. They're all quite good. Well, they're all the same, so just different colours. And here's the game itself. Now, the good thing about this, they actually had a poll on Nintendo of Europe's site. You could actually pick the inlay, and the inlay they picked was this one, which looks quite smart. So yeah, it's a really good game. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy XII, it plays very like that. It kind of like your open world and you're moving about, but you can cast stuff, and it has like timed things for each kind of way you do that. And just the scale of it for a Wii game is really impressive. The fact that they probably will be bringing over the last story and Pandora's Tower, which I'm really looking forward to, because it's like, if you don't know about Pandora's Tower, it looks very much like a God of War clone, but it's made by the people that made Jump Ultimate Stars on the DS, and I absolutely adore that game. So that's going to be really good. And the last thing, for pre-ordering it, we got this really nice little poster. I say little. It's over there, and you have this poster, and it's got a signature at the bottom, like printed on, but there we go, and then it's in a blue. So yeah, it's a really nice little poster there, and I think I was the only person in Dundee that pre-ordered it in GameStation, because that was what they were speaking about when I actually handed that in. So, okay, right, next off, this is what predominantly the pickups are going to be. They're all GameCube from now on. Now, I went into Cash Converters, and I basically raided them of everything they had. Apart from stuff I actually had myself, but I probably could have sold some of them on and actually made quite a bit of profit. But I don't know. I've never been that kind of person that wanted to do that. Right, the first one is a game I actually used to own. When I got the GameCube, my GameCube, off of my mate. This is one of the games that came with it, and it was WrestleMania 18. Now, the cover is actually different in Europe. They actually took Austin off, and I'm thinking they put RVD, and going the wrong, no, that way, no, that way, finger, they put RVD on, and it used to have Austin. This was about the point where Austin walked out of the WWE and had the whole hula because he wouldn't lay down for Scott Hall or do something for the NWO angle, and Vince McMahon got pissed, and so Stone Cold walked out. So they took him off the box and said he will never be in the box of a WWE game ever again. I have a feeling actually, if you get the American version, it's still WWF. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's actually not too bad a game. It was just fairly simplistic. It was kind of like a bare bones game, just to show the capabilities of the system. They did release it in WrestleMania 19, which kind of went off the rails because they had this whole thing about doing stuff up on the up top of buildings and everything, and they had all these kind of weird bits, and it was just like, what the hell is going on here? It just didn't seem right at all. It was like, yes, you could have backstage areas, but there was this whole thing that's about fighting out in these backlots and up on these roofs, and it was just like, this, what? It made no sense to me. But yeah, I had it before and I traded it in. It was like 3 GameCube games I ever traded in, and one was WrestleMania 18, 19, and Pokemon Channel. And now I've got 18 back. Next one. If you saw my pickups the last time, you know I picked up the drums for the GameCube, and so I actually found a copy of Donkey Konga on the GameCube. and it was actually short of the manual and everything, so I actually transferred it of all the stuff that was in the box, because it had everything bar the game. And it's actually really quite good. It's a lot of fun. Difficult, even on the easiest setting, a little bits of it are very difficult. Though I do prefer the Taekwondo no Tatsujin, the Wii version, the drum game. That game is hella fun because you've got the drums, you can do it. It's the same kind of game. It's made by the same people, but I preferred it on the Wii, just for the drum thing. But maybe it was the music and everything. I don't know. But both of them, I will be picking that up. It's quite expensive to import because you have to import it with the drum, and so it's heavy and then customs, and you'll get shafted. I was having a look though, but because the Donkey Konga, they actually regionalized it. All the songs are very, very different for each version. So I was thinking of maybe picking up the Japanese version and possibly getting 3, because 3 didn't come out anywhere but Japan. And there's quite a lot of interesting games that didn't come out here that came out in Japan. I was having a look at a nice little puzzle game the other day, and that's by the by. But it is actually really quite good. A lot of fun. The next one is Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Now, I just thought it'd be kind of interesting. I don't even know what the hell the game's like at all. It looks 50 different missions, challenges in different worlds. So I'm thinking it must be something like levels, and then you're moving with characters and Zords, and I hope it's something like that. The one thing I just haven't remembered back to is I really quite liked the Mega Drive version of Power Rangers. It was a fighter, and it was very interesting. I've always wanted to get the SNES version because it was kind of like Streets of Rage based, but I never did. But I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. The next one is Into the Matrix, and it has both the discs, but no manual. Now, Into the Matrix was done to time with the Matrix Reloaded. It has the 2 characters, one Jada Pinkett Smith, I don't know who the other guy is, and they're 2 characters, and this was basically their backstory to Matrix Reloaded. You really had to play this game to get any sense of what was going on with them characters in the film. You got a little bit, but nothing compared to the detail you're getting in that. And they actually had the actors properly film scenes and do stuff, so it actually looks quite realistic. But it wasn't the game people wanted to do, because people wanted to play as Neo. And then they did Neo, the second one, and that was meant to be a lot better. But interesting just to have a little go. It's a long time past now, and I don't think you're really going to care too much now who you actually play. The next game is a game that I watched my mate play a long time ago. He had the PC version of this, and he really liked it, and it's Freedom Fighters on the GameCube. I didn't even know it came on the GameCube. I thought it was at Xbox only. But it was EA, I suppose EA at the time would release on anything. But Freedom Fighters was actually a kind of really good game. It was made by the people that made Hitman, IO Interactive, and God, my throat is drying up. It hurts. It's all about. I'm sure it's all about the Russians. If the Russians invaded America, and it's you're the part of the resistance that's fighting the Russians off. I think it's something very similar to that, and it is a really good game. That's like I say, it's a third-person shooter. It's like, I'm sure it's kind of like squad-based, and you can actually direct people and everything. Could be wrong. I haven't really played any of these games yet, to be fair. Just haven't really had the time, to be honest. The next one is Ace Golf. And now, I absolutely love Mario Golf, so any game that's going to be fun and with golf and that, I will probably pick up. I always used to love the Everybody's Golf games on the PlayStation. And so, yeah, anything like that, I'm just going to pick up because it's just going to be kind of fun. Next one is 18-Wheeler. Now, 18-Wheeler, I've played this in the arcade. I'm sure I've played it in the arcade, but you're in a big 18-wheeler truck and you're actually having to do deliveries and have to do them at certain times. And you're getting bashed by other trucks and everything, and it's just fun. The next one is Lord of the Rings Return of the King on the GameCube. Now this looks like a third-person film. This was the official game, so I have a feeling this was actually not badly reviewed. But to be fair, Return of the King was my least favourite of the Lord of the Rings film, and my girlfriend would kill me for that because I think it's her favourite. But she's a much bigger Lord of the Rings fan than I ever am, so never mind. I always like the Two Towers. That's just my personal opinion, but I think it should be halfway decent. Can't see it being too bad. Next one is Super Bust-A-Move. Now, I haven't really played much of the Bust-A-Move games. What I did play was kind of a copy of it, which was on Sky, which was called Beehive Bedlam, and it was on the Sky GameStar service. And me and my sister used to play it all the time. It's exactly the same. It just has lag, like nothing else. So it'd be kind of interesting to play it properly. I was actually going to pick up the 3DS version because I fancied a decent puzzle game on the 3DS, but I forgot that for like cheap. There's no real point to that. Next one is NBA 2K3. I always used to like the 2K3 games. I remember when I was actually out in Florida on holiday, I actually played. It was NBA 2K. I think it was just 2K. Or it could be 2K plus 1. On the Dreamcast when I was out in the States, because EA wouldn't give official licenses, so they made up their own to go against them, and it still has all the NBA licenses. I actually preferred that version of the game at the time. So yeah, I found this one. I thought, yeah, this will be fun. I have memories of this, so hopefully it'll be pretty good. Next one. If you remember, I said I traded in 3 games, and one of them was WrestleMania 18, one of them was WrestleMania 19, and one of them was this. This is Pokemon Channel. Now, I have a long and storied history of complaining about this game because of that. Let's see if I get it. Includes special gift Jiraiya. Now, Jiraiya was the Mew version of Ruby Sapphire, and in the States you were able to get it. It was on the second disc of Pokemon Colosseum, which was a pretty decent game. It's one I probably should find myself picking up, and the second one as well. And it was kind of easy to get it. I think you just had to put the second disc in, and it would just transfer through the GBA to GC link cable. Not with Pokemon Channel in Europe. To get Jiraiya in, I'm probably pronouncing that really harshly. It's Jirachi. Yeah, Jirachi. Basically, what you had to do, you had to complete Pokemon Channel. Now, Pokemon Channel was made for preschoolers, really. It's all about doing little challenges like colouring and watching these, speaking to different characters. It's very much for preschoolers, and so you feel your intelligence dying while trying to actually complete this thing, and it takes at least about 5 hours to do, and you feel every single minute of those 5 hours. The cartoon is annoying as hell. Just imagine the ones before the Pokemon movies, and it's pretty much that. I think it actually is one of them. And it's split up into 5 parts, and you have to keep unlocking stuff to unlock the 5 parts. But once you've done that, you can actually complete the game. And then, after you've done that, you can actually do that. But I still have my save file. It's just the fact that I wanted to have it again, just so if I ever wanted Jirachi again, I could have it. The next one is one of Cyberlanky's favourite games on the GameCube. This is 13. Now, this was a very much stylized cartoon shooter, very comic based, and it's very interesting. I've watched him play it a few times, and it has lots of kind of, it has like all the comic speech bubbles and stealth, and it's really quite fun. So I'll probably do a gameplay video of that just to show that off. He's done it before, but he was playing air guitar. He was wanting you to distract you to see which one you're focusing on. I seem to remember the video anyway. Right. Next one is a game series I've never really got into, and I saw it, and I know a lot of people rant and rave about it, which is Harvest Moon on the GameCube. And It's a series, like I say, I've never got into. I've seen, what is it? They've got ones that they've maxed it with Rune Factory or something. It's like that with puzzle for dungeon crawling as well. And I might try and pick that up for the Wii. But this is more just you're on a farm and you have to actually keep the economy of the farm. You have to you have to meet your wife, and then you have that, and it's all like just like a farm simulator, but actually fun. Not like Farmville, which just, I don't know. I see some people that play it and just no. The next one is ISS 2. Now this is, like I say, the precursor to Pro Evolution. It was just before they did the name change, and I don't entirely know why they did the name change, but this was when ISS was when they were the better of the two between that and FIFA. FIFA were fairly horrendous at that point, and it's only in the recent years where FIFA's got a lot better. Like, I've not been the biggest fan of football games, to be fair. The most I really played is FIFA World Cup '98, and that was because Scotland was in it, and I won the World Cup with Scotland, and that was interesting. But it should be fairly decent. Fun. Especially if you get like multiplayer games on the go. The next one I kind of wanted to get on the PS1. But I saw it and I thought I might as well. And it's Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now, it's not like Resident Evil 1 where it was done up for the audience and everything. It wasn't done up for, not the audience, what's going on? It wasn't done up graphically like Resident Evil 1 was, and it was so amazing in the Resident Evil 1. It's a basic port of the PS1 game, so you might as well just get the PS1 game. But it's an annoyance really, because they took all the time to make 1 really, really good on the GameCube, and then didn't bother doing 2 or 3, and 2 was really the more popular game, and I don't know why they didn't think of doing it at least for 2. But 3 was the introduction of Nemesis and the big tyrant. Well, he wasn't even a tyrant, was he? He was evolved weird Nemesis virus, and he would come round and he'd stalk stars, and he'd have his rocket launcher, and he'd just bash through doors, so you couldn't actually just run into a different room and escape from him. You actually had to either run fairly far or face him, which wasn't exactly easy, because you would lose all your ammo, because he was muscle bound and everything, so you'd waste all your ammo, and then he'd drop something decent at the end of it if you actually tried to kill him, but boy did he make you earn it. Right, the next one is X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge. Now, I actually heard this wasn't really the greatest of games. It was a movie tie-in. It ties into X-Men 2. So again, it might be not the greatest game. What was the one that did? Was it when X-Men Origins Wolverine, I think when that came out, the game was actually meant to be a lot better than the film. So I was kind of hoping that would be the same as that. I said I like X-Men 2. X-Men 2 is probably the best out of the 3. But we'll see. It could be fun. It's always going to be a little bit fun to go around with Wolverine adamantium claws and just go slashing people. Got to be kind of fun. The next one is Turok Evolution on the GameCube. Well, like I said, the old GameCube. I've never really actually played many of the Turok games. I played Turok 1, but it was over at a mate's house, and not really. I've never owned one. And to think I've got a quite substantial N64 collection and don't actually have Turok 1 or 2 or even 3 or Rage Wars, which are just actually quite expensive now to pick up, especially the way I like it in the box and with the manual and everything. But I actually don't know too much about Turok Evolution. It's at least still done by Acclaim, and so will tie into the original continuity, not like the reboot on the 360. But we'll see. The next one, if you know my love of racing games, you'll know I love Formula 1, and this is Formula 1 2002. Now, I actually didn't know very much about it. I can't even remember that coming out. I remember the ones in the N64. I have both, but I don't remember a 2002 or something like that. So we'll see. The one I really remember now is the Codemasters one that came out last year that was meant to be really good, but neither me or Cyblanky picked it up, even though we both really wanted it. I don't know what went on there, but they've got a 2011 iteration coming out soon, so I might get lost in the shuffle of the amount of good games that are coming out in the next few months. But I don't know much about it, to be honest, so it could be good. We'll have to just put it in and see, really. That's all I can really say about it. Right, yo. And the next one is NHL 2003. Now, I'm not the biggest on hockey, but I do know that's a Calgary Flames shirt. So that's already likeable enough, because that was, out of all the teams, I probably would support the Calgary Flames, the Vancouver Canucks. Just because I kind of went to that bit of the country, that's probably the only thing I picked up them two jerseys. But the only thing with this is it doesn't actually have NHL 2003. It has NHL Hits 2003, which was made by Midway, not by EA. I don't know. I think, would that be more the fun kind of NHL game where you'd... It seems the more arcadey thing because it's done by Midway. I don't know. I'm really not up in my hockey games. I've never bought one before. So, I don't know. I presume they're both kind of good. The next one is... and last one actually is 007 Agent Under Fire. Now, I did have one of the other ones. I think it was Nightfire. And they couldn't find the disc for it. So I didn't get that one. But I got the Agent Under Fire. Now, I've never played any of the Bond games on the GameCube. I was just my whole big thing into GoldenEye, and I played it religiously for months and years. And I picked up GoldenEye on the Wii. I picked up From Russia of Love on the PS2, but I never actually played it. There's a lot of games like that. You'll know yourself, as most collectors, you'll pick up a lot more than you actually get round to actually playing. And you're looking at it thinking, I've bought all these games and not really played many of them, and I'm thinking now that I can't really spend much money, I'm going to go through some of these games and actually try and play them. But I've said this before, and I've not done it. It just feels like sometimes you come back and you've just got no push or drive to actually play some games or do anything. You just want to sit down and just veg for a few hours. But can't do that much anymore. I think it's just wasteful now. Alright. That is my pickups. Yes, it has been 28 minutes. I hope you are still awake. If not, wake up! Okay, I'm sorry I did that. No. Alright. Okay, I will be doing gameplay vids soon. So if you see anything in there that you actually fancy seeing a gameplay vid of, just hit a message down below. I will be going back and answering. I have had a bad habit of not answering comments. Really, because the PC was down. You can answer comments back on the iPhone and that. It's just really annoying the way they do it. Because you actually have to go through and remember people's names and then get them exactly right. And then there's no real formatting. And my grammar and spelling when I'm tired is not exactly ever great. So I don't like doing messages on the iPhone. Only sometimes when I'm in a hurry or quick or sometimes. I've done it once or twice. And usually it doesn't come out all that great. But I will be going back and trying to answer all these comments. I don't know if I'll do it tonight. I just feel really tired now. It's about midnight. Midnight. I think I'm going to go back and watch some TV, go to bed. But yes, I have returned. I will be doing more videos. Hopefully I will do a gameplay vid either tomorrow or Friday. And I will see you then. This is evilslothman. Out.